Hi, bestie. How are you doing? Today, I'm going to talk about something that might surprise you. Yes, what to do before you start saving money. You might be thinking, saving is simple now. Just put your money in a savings account. What's there? It's very simple, and I'm just good to go. I've been doing it. But yeah, I need you to know that there are some crucial things you need to know. So that's why I tag this: do these things before you start saving money. So many people, whenever I have this conversation with them, they begin to realize that it's true. I should have thought about these one, two, three things before I started saving. That will help me to put my mind more at rest, or probably help me to make my saving goal a success. So let's dive in. I really want you to understand this because honestly, the country is somehow now. So you really want to save, or let's say you're already saving. I just want you to ensure that these five things are already taken care of. And I'm going to show you these five things. So follow me, watch to the end. And as always, I promise you premium knowledge. You're going to learn so many things that will help you because there's just so many things going on that if you're not saving yourself, I keep telling people you are your own rescue. So make a plan for yourself. It will help you in the long run. Hi everyone, my name is Julia, and on this channel I talk about all things finance, from saving money, spending money, investing money to multiply your money, to building legacy and generational wealth. So I break down complex financial terms and make it easy so that you can understand it. I basically teach and educate you. So if this is the kind of things you like, please watch to the end and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I want to get at least a 50 likes because that is what I ask in return for giving you good information. So these are some of my favorite quotes. The first one is save money because one day money will save you. So do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. This is a typical rich man's plan. But most times I see people telling me, the money that is already spent as is entering account. I think that's the fastest thing that happened in Nigeria. You get a lot of 200k now within 1 hour. Like 190 has gone. Flying. Phew, phew, phew. So, but this is actually what we're supposed to be doing. You should have a plan. So when you receive your salary or money from your business, you should take out some and put into savings. And the best time to save was yesterday. The second best time is today, like now. So before you start thinking about saving money, make sure that some of these things I'm going to mention are the kind of things you should be thinking of. So, as you're counting the money you want to save, I want to keep in mind these five information. I'm looking at this dollar this person is counting as if I should just go and collect it. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's press our own calculator. Let's do our own calculation and write our own things down because it's very important for you and for me. Let's go. So the first thing I want to notice is your living expenses. Your living expenses. So before you think about saving, I want you to make a, have a have make sure that all the basic things you need are met. So if you want to save money, you should be able to ask yourself what is remaining. Will you be able to take care of like food? How about your rent, light bill, data, some very critical gas, some very critical things that you need for survival? I call them survival tools, like things you need to survive. Because you see, when it comes to inflation, poor infrastructure, and income, they can be unstable. So if those basic things are not met, it will be very difficult for you to save. In fact, there are people who have met me and I told them, you are still seriously surviving. So go and sort yourself out before you now begin the proper saving thing. Doesn't mean you cannot take out small thing, but you need to save yourself. So you need to end up putting some plan in order. So make sure you have a plan of what is it that your basic survival tool. So this should have been the survival tool, but anyway, I think you get it now. You should be able to understand that this will help you. Is somehow it is helping you to understand your own financial goals, because if you are thinking you want to save 10,000 or 50,000, but then you go back to your survival tools and build the list, you will see that somehow you cannot save up to 50,000. You will save about 5,000 naira, which is better than the person who is not saving at all. The second one I'm going to talk about is, please beware of loan apps, loan sharks. Hey, I don't know if you have been in this situation where someone will just call your number and start telling you, do you know this person? So many people take loans from app, you know, informal lenders, and somehow they think it's small interest, and somehow gradually begins to build up, and with all the other pressure coming to you, things are not working as per plan. Before you know it, it begins to reduce your plan of saving money. So if you had the mind to save, before you know it, you see yourself paying money and you're not meeting up, and you're constantly on their own hook. And it's such a terrible thing for someone to be in that kind of situation. So I would suggest that before you start saving aggressively, please try to look into those angles, and then look at, if you have already taken anyway, you can work on that. But you can still save money while you're paying off. You just need to understand, when I pay off, what is remaining, even if it's 1,000, even if it's 2,000, it is better you're building that habit, because after paying off, you would have understood the power of saving small that you can lean on. So that is the second thing you should put into consideration. And there are other things that, you that has to do with this loan thing, but I'm not going to mention it in today's video. But I just want you to know that this particular one is one thing that can reduce or mar, like, completely take out your plan of savings. So keep that in mind. The third one is, set an emergency fund. Of course, emergency fund is very important, because if you have savings, one good thing about savings is that it helps you to invest when an opportunity comes. So, for example, assuming you've been putting together some money, maybe 100,000, 300,000, 500,000, and then a good opportunity comes, maybe in the stock market or any other investment, and then you're required to put in maybe 200, 300, because you already have your savings together, it's easy to just push the money and then get the benefit. But when you have an emergency and you don't have an emergency fund, you will go to your savings, and then the savings begins to get depleted, and somehow the aim is defeated. Emergencies are common, like medical bills, sudden family requests, a job loss, inflation spiking, and food costs. Maybe you are planning that 20,000 will be able to sort out food, and then it's now 50. So all these things can happen, and it will make you to, look for your emergency fund. So set up a small emergency fund that can help you. Instead of going to take certain loan from the loan sharks, having emergency fund can actually save you. When I said save money, because one day money will save you. That is exactly what I mean. So keep this in mind, that you need to have an emergency fund plan before you start putting in your savings, or you can be saving both of them at the same time. Remember, I said in emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. If you spend 200,000 every month, just do 200 by 3, 200 by 6. That's your target, so that you'll be able to manage. Then the fourth one is, know your income and expenses. What do I mean by this? If you know how much you're earning beyond your salary, maybe you do other side gigs and everything, you know exactly how much comes into your hand, and then you know how much you spend on the things you need in your home. You'll be able to know, okay, at the end of the day, do I have any excess? So assuming you are paid 500,000 in a month, and you spend about 380,000, now you have 120K. It's easier for you to now say, okay, from this 120, I'm going to take 40,000 and put into my emergency fund and push the other one into savings. So you can't do all these things when you don't know, you know, your sources of income. And another advantage is that by the time you look at your income and your expenses, and you see that your expenses are bigger than your income, it gives you a thought process, like you begin to process that, oh, I'll be needing to make more money to increase my income. Either you ask for a promotion, a raise in your office, or you start doing something else, maybe a side business, to be able to raise money. Or you can probably go into the digital online space, or go into content creation, These are the kind of things you can be doing to be able to, raise more money. So that by the time you look at everything you're spending, from food to data to rent, electricity bill, transport, subscription, church donation, food, everything, you will still have something left. So it is called budgeting, being able to assign things to different things. Oh, this one will be for my savings and invest. This one will go to food. So you already have a map. You don't need any app. You can just write everything down. And then I think I have an expense template that's it's up for sale, but it's very cheap. It's about 1,200 naira, which you can get. Everything is already imputed for you. By the time you key in all the figures, it gives you all the you don't need to do any calculation. So you can actually grab it. I'll link it in the description of this video. Then the last one you should think of, the baba of them all, hey, the odogu, is black tax. Black tax is real. Black tax is real. You must have a plan. Now, what is black tax? Black tax is like unspoken financial expectation that you always face, supporting your family, your friends, your colleagues, but it's basically a family kind of situation. You have siblings that are leaning on you for one or two help, and you are beginning to form El Shaddai. And I recently heard a pastor who said, when you become the El Shaddai, you shall die. So sometimes everybody is pulling you here, there, help me, help me, help me. And sometimes these people have money in their savings. And because you are the generous one, you've been helping. I'm not saying helping is not good, but I'm saying if you're helping, make sure your own side is also guarded so that in case um your own money begins to reduce, you have something to fall back on. I've seen cases where people who were giving to people helping, when it got to their own turn to that they needed help, all those people couldn't even do anything for them. So it is important for you to know that when you're sending money, paying school fees, helping sibling, covering hospital bill, all these obligations can make some people have poor or no savings. I've seen it so many times. So make sure that before you sabotage your own self, you must create a strategy. You can just decide that, okay, every month I'll budget 50,000 for helping people. When the 50,000 is exhausted, I have to tell them to wait for the next month. So it's not like you're not giving, but you already have a plan. You have a cap to, this is how much I can give, and this is how much I can't do much. You have to wait until the next month. So in this way, you don't have to be harsh. You need to sit with these people and sometimes let them know that things are not as it used to be. You are also struggling, but this is how much you can afford to do for them. So when you communicate, they will understand where you're coming from, and then you can be saving quietly to protect your own financial future while you honor the responsibilities of these people who are dear to you. So I really hope that all this information I've been giving you, these five information, are going to help you. Because before you start savings, you have to make sure that you understand your financial goal, track your expenses, pay off all these loan sharks, build an emergency fund, and then have a budget. So if you follow all these steps, trust me, you are going to be making real progress towards your financial goals. So you'll be able to, that life you're desiring that you want to retire in the next 10 years, it will be a reality. From saving to investing, that's like the step by step. They're like brother and sister. So this is how I want you to consider these things. Write them down. The way I've put these five things, write down these five things and be sure that all those things are taken care of. Then you can safely and conveniently move into your savings with ease. So I hope that this has made a lot of sense for you. I know it has given you a lot of insight. There are some things, some of the things I talked about today, you probably haven't been looking into that thing. So I also will encourage you to join our community. We have an amazing community where you can join the VIP, you can join the basic class, which is 10,000 naira. The VIP is 50,000 naira. And in the VIP, I work with you to, look into your portfolio, create a portfolio that will thrive for you, that you can say, oh, I can build this portfolio, I can put in this structure and system. In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, this system will be paying me the amount of money I need to be able to survive comfortably without looking for any job. So if this is the kind of thing you like, then consider joining. The link to pay is in the description of this video. And I can't wait to see you in the community, really. And we can do amazing things. So I hope you found this video very helpful. Please subscribe. Do not forget to like and share and let